Ever wonder how a piece of shit could strike back? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into the stinky world of Jacoby 2, the mega death shit strikes back. Our tale begins in the dark, dank, and somewhat disturbing bowels of an unassuming creature named Jacoby. Now, Jacoby wasn't your average Joe or Jane. No, Jacoby had a gut that could ferment the most potent, powerful, and downright putrid poop the world has ever known. And so on a day like any other, Jacoby gave birth to a monstrosity. A poop so powerful it was christened Jacoby 2. This was not your garden variety turd, folks. This was a shitstorm of epic proportions. A brown behemoth that would rise to power and earn the title of the Megadeth shit. But how did this happen, you ask? How did a simple shit gain such notoriety and power? Well, it all comes down to the power of stench. You see, Jacoby 2 had a smell so foul, so nauseatingly nasty it could knock out a full-grown elephant at 50 paces. And with this olfactory offensive, Jacoby 2 could bend others to its will. Over time, Jacoby 2's influence grew, its power expanded, and soon it had a following. A legion of fans, or should I say fanatics, who worshiped the ground it, well, shat on, and at the helm of this cult-like following was the Gwast, a deity-like figure who revered Jacoby 2 as a god, a poop god. The Gwast saw the potential in Jacoby 2, saw the power it held, and pledged to serve it, to spread its stench far and wide. And so, the Gwast became the herald of the mega death shit, the voice that would echo its power across the lands. So that's how Jacoby 2 became the mega death shit. But hold on to your toilet paper, because we're just getting started. Now you're probably thinking, how can a piece of shit strike back? Well, let me tell you, it's a real shitty situation. So here's how it went down. Jacoby 2, our mega death shit, wasn't just your garden variety turd. No, this one had ambitions. This was the kind of shit that looked at a toilet bowl and said, I don't think so. One day Jacoby 2 decided it was done being flushed around. It had seen its brethren swirl down into the abyss one too many times. It was tired of being the butt of the joke, the punchline in a bathroom humor gag. It was time for revenge. And oh boy did it wreak havoc. Imagine a shit-nado, if you will. A whirlwind of fecal fury, a tornado of turd terror. Jacoby 2 was everywhere, causing a stink like you wouldn't believe. It was like a brown apocalypse, a shitstorm of epic proportions. People were stunned, shocked, horrified. They'd look at their toilets and whisper, "What the fuck?" as Jacoby 2 rose from the bowl, like a brown phoenix from the ashes. The reactions were priceless. Some laughed, some cried, some just stood there, mouth agape, unable to comprehend the shit show unfolding before their eyes. And let's not forget the plumbers. Oh, the poor, traumatized plumbers. They'd go in, tools in hand, ready to do battle with the beast. But they were no match for Jacoby 2. They'd emerge drenched in defeat, their faces a mask of horror and disgust. It was a sight to behold. Through it all, Jacoby 2 just laughed. A deep, guttural laugh that echoed through the pipes. A sound that still haunts the dreams of those who heard it. The turd had struck back, and it was glorious. And that, my friends, is how you make a stink. But don't flush just yet because the story isn't over. Now, let's talk about the Gwast. Sounds like a nasty burp, doesn't it? But oh no, my friends, the Gwast is so much more than a guttural hiccup. This entity, this force, if you will, is the ultimate deity of defecation, the titan of turds, well, you get the idea. It's a god, folks, and not just any god. The Gwast is the god of shits. Yeah, you heard that right. When you're sitting on your porcelain throne contemplating life's great mysteries, or maybe just scrolling through your phone, it's the Gwast who's overseeing your, proceedings. This deity doesn't just watch over your bowel movements, though. Oh no. It plays a much more active role in the narrative than that. In the story of Jacoby 2, the Gwast is the puppet master, the overseer, the grand poobah of poo, if you will. It's pulling the strings, orchestrating every movement, each squelch and plop. It's a god, sure, but it's also a character, a player on this stage of scatological silliness. It's not just the god of shits, though. It's also the god of wit, of humor, of the belly laughs that come from a well-placed fart joke. It's the god of the profane and the profound, the silly and the serious. The Gwast is the divine embodiment of everything we love about Jacoby 2. It's the reason we keep coming back for more, the reason we can't look away, no matter how much we might want to. So yes, the Gwast might sound like a nasty burp, but it's so much more than that. It's a god, a character, a source of humor and wit. It's the heart and soul of Jacoby 2, the driving force behind every laugh, every gasp, every moment of pure, unadulterated hilarity. So, The Ghazi is the god of the shits. Makes you think twice about your next dump, doesn't it? So, after all the shit hit the fan, what happened next? Well folks, let me tell you, the aftermath of Jacoby 2's revenge was nothing short of a crap storm. First off, let's talk about the world. It used to be a place where you could walk around, breathe in the fresh air, and not worry about stepping in mega-death shit. But, oh boy, did that change. Post-Jacoby 2, the world was so full of crap, you'd need a pair of shit kickers just to step outside. But hey, on the bright side, fertilizer companies made a killing. The world of fashion also took a turn. Brown became the new black, and toilet paper, well, let's just say it was the hottest accessory of the season. And let's not forget the perfume industry. Eau de toilette took on a whole new meaning, and let me tell you, it wasn't Chanel No. 5. Now, on to the lessons learned. The first one, obviously, is to never, and I mean never, piss off a mega-death shit. That's just asking for trouble. Secondly, always keep a roll of toilet paper handy. You never know when you're gonna need it, especially in a post-Jacoby 2 world. And finally, the most important lesson of all, always wash your hands. I mean seriously, that's basic hygiene, people. But, you know, amidst all the crap, there were some positives. We learned to stick together to help each other out, and to always keep a plunger nearby. We learned that even in the shittiest of times, we can find humor and make the best out of a crappy situation. And most importantly, we learned that no matter how bad things get, we can always clean up our act and move forward. And that's the shitty aftermath, but don't wipe your ass just yet because we have one more scene to cover. So, what's the legacy of this mega-death shit? Let's take a look. As the curtain falls on the epic saga of Jacoby 2, it's time to reflect on the aftermath of this shitstorm, and boy, it's a doozy. The legacy of Jacoby 2 is like the aftermath of a burrito blowout, messy, lingering, and full of regret. It's the kind of legacy that sticks to the bottom of your shoe long after you've stepped in it, a stench that just won't quit. It's a legacy that's left a skid mark on the underpants of society. Jacoby 2 continues to affect the world in ways we never could have predicted. Like a fart in an elevator, it's left us all trapped in a confined space with something we'd rather not acknowledge, but can't ignore. The echoes of its influence can be felt in every corner of our lives, from the way we talk about poop to the way we think about personal hygiene. And let's not forget about the Ghazi. Ah yes, the Ghazi. The god of all things Ghazi and ghastly, the one who started this whole mess. The shit hit the fan, and it was the Ghazi holding the fan. His role in the saga of Jacoby 2 is a testament to the power of a good poop joke, and a reminder of the danger of underestimating the power of a really, really bad one. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of Jacoby 2 is the way it's changed our relationship with our own bowels. We've all had that moment sitting on the toilet when we've thought of Jacoby 2 and been filled with a sense of profound gratitude. Gratitude that our own personal mega-death shit isn't plotting its revenge. Gratitude for the simple joy of a bowel movement that doesn't involve a battle for the fate of the world. And that, folks, is the legacy of Jacoby 2, the mega-death shit. Makes you appreciate your toilet a little more, doesn't it?